I feel like leading a little hand because boss man got me on this itch. That's why I pull out the stuff, you know, that quick itch, you know. So anyway, that's when it's humid, you know, that's when it's humid and a little warm. So that's why I carry my stuff with me. Anyway, so here we are. What will make you know what the uphill road is? In America has a lot of trouble right now. We want to help America solve the problems that it has. Those solutions have to be gigantic. So our first camp is a prototype. You know how to run it, how to manage it, how to get it going. Then we repeat that all over the country because there's thousands and thousands of people that are homeless, right? And all them big barracks, they can have barracks for women and children and barracks for men. You know what I mean? Barracks is for couples. You can do all kind of stuff. Because they got those huge institutions and they're closed. They're just sitting there right now, not being used.
You know, they are starting to use them, because I thought about it when I heard it. I thought about what you said. The immigrant children.
Right.
That's what they're doing.
What's that?
They're talking about using military bases to put those children on.
To put
the children that are coming across the border.
That are coming across the border.
Yeah.
Okay, but remember, that's for a handful we got America,
Right.
and we got military bases all up here, all up there near Canada. They're all over the country, and they're sitting there. The ones that are, so our first stage is like this, it's a prototype. How we're going to do it, what we got, you know how to get it rolling. And this is not just for us. Like, you don't have to come there and like they go to these other programs, you got to recite the Bible and stuff like that. It's not that we're not doing that. We're doing it, what will make you know what the uphill road was, you know what I mean? When they ask us, of course, we're Muslims and this is why we're doing that, And if you want to know, you can come right over there. You know, we might have a mosque a masjid on the base. Who knows? But here's the idea. The idea has been gelling all along. It's been gelling and gelling and gelling. And now, this is the time. The global atmosphere demands this now. What do I mean? America's not paying any attention to nothing. And okay, they put out a little stimulus thing here, but that's not the long run. That's not solving any problems. Still, California has forest fires. Still, the places drying up. Still, other places is flooding, right? I want you to imagine all these military bases full of people that are being treated like they're valuable. And they're long enough to be taught. There's courses taught how to live. There's no limit like you can be here a week, a month, a year, right? And there's all kind of people in those. There are people who are learning right there in those homeless things right now. There's learning people there.
Amongst that population.
Huh?
Amongst that population.
Amongst that population. Okay, if you do good, you don't have to worry about the outcome because your niyyah is to do good. Okay? Here's the good we want to do. It's a big good because we want to help America and the people of America protect itself from this ongoing onslaught that's already here. This is already, they gonna give us a check now, they give us a check now. But they can't give those out forever. America was already overburdened with debt. And imagine now, they want to build, they want to have a $10 trillion project for all the highways, and which is good. It'll put a lot of people to work. But see, the whole world in America especially is off balance. We done talked about it a million times. Okay, whether it's the oceans, the air, all of that. Okay, so what we've been doing here is working and planning for what is our role in during this period. You know, that's what everybody got to figure out. What's my role in this? We have to figure what's our role in this. Okay? The doing of good deeds, all of this is hadith and Quran over and over again, right? So that's our reason for being here now. And the quantum leap that we're working toward is from out of what we're into right now, or not from out of what we're into, staying into what we are, but expanding into doing good deeds for the population as a whole. There ain't nothing, it's something that nobody wants to do, right? And so we don't have no competition. And I feel like whatever we do, we're going to get some of our money from the government. That's the first prototype when we get from the government. If we don't get nothing from the government, we'll do it on our own. You know, we'll start, if we have to, we'll start with just what we have. But the amount of people that are unwanted, disenfranchised, is unbelievable. We don't really even know the numbers. Okay, so that's our goal for right now. So the theme for this year is strategic management of the vision of repression. As a movement we currently own and operate, we've mentioned that before, but it says, with your help, our goal is to become a $150 million organization within 10 years. See, this ain't new. We've always been headed this way. And these are, to other people, these are astronomical numbers. We didn't have to wrote down, we want to be a $150 million organization within 10 years. Well, that 10 years had already passed, because this was probably 2008. Okay. But the idea never left us. The idea never, we'd always talked about having a 3.5 star homeless shelter, right? Yeah, where people come and ask you, what do you want for breakfast? Right? And they prepared. What can we do for you? Can you imagine that that's service to humanity? Really is praise to Allah and service to humanity. So that's what we want to be about. In the meantime, we have to realize where we are. When I was telling the FBI about, yeah, we want to do some, not homeless shelters, what do we call them? Transitional housing. You gonna do what? I said, yeah, the people get out of prison. Why, you could. I said, man, y'all got to give a break. I actually think I used that. Y'all gotta you gotta relax, man. But you could tell them to do something, and I said, shh. I said, man, then the only thing we can do is go lay down and die to make you feel like, okay, right? Just go lay down and die, not do nothing. Just say, I quit, and go lay down and die. Or you're gonna say, or they would say, now this is where the generals and the colonels and all that, the camp managers and all those people from their system, we have to have them help us with their management skills, but not with that discipline they got. Wow, we run a camp like this. What? You just help us organize it, and you can run it. Those are their people. So we got to teach them the concept of kindness, not that physical discipline and dumbness. You know, because they old people, you can't untrain them. You got to try to re-educate them a little bit. So anyway, yeah, you can turn that off if you wanted. Anyway, so we have to have, first of all, the people, their state of mind. The people, basically, we would get a whole conglomeration of people with drug problems, with alcohol problems, with living problems. That ain't gonna be no joke. How to manage those many people in those areas, it's gonna take all the human skill we got. Yeah, you're gonna have to be really loving people, because you gotta give them time to learn how to be human beings, how not to steal from each other, how you don't need all of that in that cart because we got stuff down here, you just come down there and get it, right? It's kind of like, what was that, the saying outside of Boys Town, the guy brought his brother, Boys Town, and said, he ain't heavy. He said, he must be heavy. He said, he ain't heavy, he's my brother. This is a guy about 10 years old carrying his, or 12 years old, or 14, carrying his brother 8 or 9 years old. He ain't heavy, he's my brother. They got a great song like that. Okay, look. For us, this is an opportunity to do good. And the way you get to paradise is do good and not expect no return. That don't mean everybody got to have that in, as their principle. But we should have it. And then, over the periods of time, we can teach people to like themselves, to actually love themselves. Self-love is the best love. When you love yourself, you can love other people. If you don't love yourself, you ain't gonna love nobody else. That's clear, okay? Helpers of America, you help America, America will help you. What I mean by that? That means there are so many good people. See, it's where you focus. If we focus on men, the white men, and the mean old joker, that's basically what you're going to get. Right? Over and over again. Because that's where your focus, But that's not all of America. That's just some of America. That's just him. Right? And out of all these hundreds of millions of people, there are many good people in America that are just good human beings. So all we got to do is focus on the good. Let them, if they want to be mad, they go, Of course, we have to bring a few generals and colonels along so that at least they'll know somebody watching us and that we ain't going to get too far out of line. Because all that sucker would think he's gonna raise an army of homeless people, get them trained, and take over America. This is something stupid going on. But he got to think like that because nobody would do good for any other reason. And everybody you see on their screen, they pretend to be good until they become the dictator, the local dictator, and then all of a sudden they're the dictator. Well, they're not used to Quranic and Hadith infused type of personalities. They're just not used to it. So we got to help train boss man, especially after the rhetoric we had around here. He probably, it's going to take a lot of good works just to say, boss man, just relax. Hey man, But that's where we're coming from. That's what our mission is right now. Okay, already have it. Mu'allafatul qulub fiha rikab fi sabilillah. These are different stages. Those mu'allafatul qulub, those whose heart have been recently reconciled. Those people can get charity. Fiha rikab, those people who in bondage, their neck, rikab the neck. And fi sabilillah, in the way of Allah. So, okay, that's the basic idea of what we want to do. In the meantime, we got a little stuff that we're, like management type stuff. First of all, y'all heard the car making all that noise the other day. Okay, if I got to take care of cars all the time, then boss man, it would, all they got to do is mess up a car, and every car right down that road. The little yellow Volkswagen, I drove it up here, and that's it. So I'm gonna go out there and tell them, y'all can give me about 20, 25 grand for all the trouble you didn't cause me and fix the cars out there. I'll either go there tomorrow and tell them or whatever. But they did that stuff. And the other car, click, 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 click. I don't know. I done had so many cars that run perfect one day. So I would like to have help in the motor pool. Because, first of all, you have to stay elevated and active psychologically, so you can't allow boss man. No super manager would be out there listening to the car and see somebody would take care of that, right? So that's part of, okay. Strategic brilliance, one thing, strategic depth. Strategic depth is what we're getting into right now. The depth of the problem, heart of the reality that we're living in. Strategic imagination is what we're using right now to imagine a world that's different than the one that they done made. They done blew it. The world they done made, it ain't gonna work. It don't work. It's a mean, heartless, you know what I mean? It's a non-human world, Okay, so here we got a chance to affect that. We got a chance to, and if you want to catch somebody surprised, let's do what we're talking about right now. You'll surprise everybody. They'll be shocked. Why, those are niggas over there. You want to help feed the homeless and do this and yeah, we're going to do it. And on a big scale, like the reason we've been kind of cruising is because if we would have went to court earlier on these cases, we had a chance to get a reasonable amount of money. When we wait too far past those periods, right, then you go out of the framework of having the ability to charge them for the stuff that they did. There's a time limit on some of that stuff. But it so happens that the bank, there's no time limit. On the criminal charges, on selling our property, right? False representation, no time limit. The cases we just got, we was arrested 8 times, and we could draw all of those 8 cases into this one. You know, so we've been thinking about it a little bit, you know. But it doesn't make any difference. Whatever comes to us, we're going to use it for the cause of Allah. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't make no difference. So we say we want to get $150 million. So what if we get 100? So what if we get 50? It doesn't make any difference. Right? It doesn't make any difference, because the first thing we're going to do is a prototype. Probably we'll do it one of the bases out in California. Y'all could look on the things for abandoned military bases, just for the heck of it, to see what they, you know, what they do with them. But they're there. Not only abandoned military bases, but abandoned schools. Just think about it. See, all the brick and mortar, and what we're living through now accelerates this period. Not going to school, well, that's accelerating, getting rid of all those brick and mortar, big old schools with big billion-dollar heating bills, right, and all that stuff, all the winter, because okay, those things, we don't like to work with the government, but so we can take that huge thing right there, and we can do this, that, and other with it, and just rent it to us for $1. And if y'all want to pay the heating and gas bill and lights, it's one thing, but we don't need it. I believe we've seen just little rudimentary things. How much milk people collect, how many extra boxes of cornflakes they throw away. His warehouse is full. You ever see the guy in the grocery store, all the stuff that they taken off the rack and putting it, all that stuff goes to a warehouse. They either throw it away, burn it, or sell it for 10 cents a box. Because it's past